Hello everybody and welcome Assassins to another Best in Class Series 2021. Today we are focusing on the AOE class. It was the one that was most requested in the last video. So today we're going to break down each hero in the class and basically give you our ratings. I'll break down their abilities, tell you what I think of them and just how they could benefit your account. So if you are new to the channel, feel free to drop a subscription and drop a thumbs up on the video. No one does ACR like me. We do giveaways for character heroes when they're released. We do live streams. I've got my own Discord, fantastic little community in now. Lovely laugh, you know, you make some new friends and you learn a little bit something about the game as well. So feel free to do all them things and let's jump into the video. First of all with Leodis. So, obviously controversial hero, came in the Caribbean campaign from like complete left field. He's a Spartan. Go figure, probably having holiday, probably on the red list, couldn't get back to Sparta. So yeah, he's left in the Caribbean. So let's have a look at his skills. We will, because I only have him at a 1-star. I've not completed the campaign yet, and even if I did, I wouldn't have him as a 5-star because they've not released the other 5 missions yet. So we'll go to details and we'll read them off here because we'll read what he's like at a 5-star level. So, Brutal Rush, so strikes all enemies in front of the user for 230% of his attack power, which is always nice. He's got his own legendary weapon as well, so his attack is fairly decent. For Sparta, so attack is increased by 50% for 20 ticks, so quite a nice ability to be honest with you, and that could probably last you for the majority of the mission, especially with the damage he's going to do. He's got the parry ability, so reduces the damage of next strike by 85%. As I said, it's just going to basically be able to take more hits. There's, you know, when that parries up, you do take very little damage. He's got Ring of Chaos, so strikes all enemies for 70% damage and inflicts stuns to adjacent enemies for 3 ticks. This ability is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Stunning an enemy for that long and doing damage to him just is amazing. So, especially if you have an enemy either side, it will stun the pair of them, so you can finish one off while you're taking while the other one's sitting there wobbling about stunned. If you get multiple enemies, it will damage, I think, the pair of them. It will, but you'll only stun the one in the front. But it doesn't matter because you can obviously just get that off. The bloke at the front ain't going to hit you, and then you can probably ping Brutal Rush off and do damage to the pair of them and absolutely KO them. He's got Fury. So for every 10% of your health loss, your attack goes up by 7%. This obviously goes up by 5 applications maximum. So obviously when you lose 50% of your health, you're hitting for another 28% damage. Look at that. No, I've got that wrong. 35% damage. So yeah, even more. Look at that. In a heartbeat, I've just given you more attack. And outnumbered, so attack is increased by 30% when fighting multiple enemies. Critical strike damage is also increased by 50%. So, I mean, for me, he's basically just like a AOE version of Alexius. Instead of having the Sparta kick, he's got the Brutal Rush. He's got the Ring of Chaos like Alexis has. He's got the parry like Alexis has as well. But this ability could just top him over the edge really. Attack is increased by like that is going to just push him over the edge. So I think he's going to be a very, very good hero, and he could be one of the better ones in the class. I'm not going to say the best in class because we all know who that's going to be, but he's promising to be a very good hero. Very nice toolkit. Beatrice, bless her. Very good rare hero, very good rare hero. She will still help you out for a region 5, especially with a little bit of elite training. She's got swipes or strikes all enemies in front of her for 85% damage. Strikes and inflicts a bleed over 4 ticks, just like Sigurd's got. And she's also got improved parry, so the next 2 enemy strikes have their damage reduced by 75% and attack is increased by 20% for duration of 8 ticks. And a 25% chance to retaliate against the next hit. So you're just taking less damage and you're dealing a bit more out. Just a nice hero, easily farmable, and will easily get you through a hell of a lot of your content in this game. She will not struggle to get you through Region 5, especially with a little bit of elite training. So stop panicking about the the legendaries and just, yeah, nab her and she'll do an absolutely amazing job for you. Musa, the king of everything but can do nothing right. This bloke's got a toolkit on him, but he's just not that good with any of it. He can obviously disarm traps, not that well. He can lockpick, not that well. He instantly strikes all enemies in front of the hero for 85% damage, the same ability that Beatrice has got. Wild Slash strikes all enemies for 100% damage. Critical chances increase by 5% with each use until the end of combat. Maximum of 5 applications, so you can keep refreshing this and obviously just increasing your damage and your crit chance. And he's also got Stance of the Asp, so dodge and crit is raised by 20% for 4 ticks. He's on initiative, you get a better dodge and you get a chance to strike twice, and his passive is increased, his dodge increases when he's below 35% health. I love Musa, but he's not great. He's not great at all. But there's just sometimes, especially when you're using him in Helix Rift Defense, he just does something so magical that you fall in love with him. He's great in a HQ. He can craft your weapons, I think it is, for a little bit less. Well, for very cheap, the cheapest, I think. So you save a lot of money with him in there. But all in all, he's not great. He's not great, but I do have a soft spot for him. He is a cutie. Right, Shakira. Shakira. Don't know why I always do that. Been doing it for years. Not a bad hero. Swipe again. Common with some of the lower level AOE heroes. Instantly strikes all enemies in front of the hero for 85% damage. So obviously not as much as your main attack. This one then, Storm of Blades, so he strikes all enemies for 175% damage. So it's just like a spinning attack with his spear. He takes out, obviously, he hits the 2 enemies in front of him for 175% damage. Mark for Death isn't a bad skill, so attack, defense, and attack speed are reduced by 50% on targets with enemies, on target enemies indefinitely. So there's no tick time on this. You do have 3 of them, but it is a nice ability to get off and just, especially if you've got someone, for example, with a long sword, they're very slow anyway, so slowing them down even more is nice. And obviously by reducing their attack and their defense, you're doing more damage to them, and if they do hit you, they're doing less damage as well. And especially that, like the longsword heroes, they hit like an absolute truck, so you know, negating some of that damage is quite nice. And reveals rooms containing mission objectives. It's quite a nice ability, especially if you're new to the map, you're not too sure where to go. If you're doing a Helix Rift event, you want to know where the chests are, this will ping them. So it's quite nice. It will show you the end room as well. So anything that you've got to do with an interaction in a room, whether it's pick up loot a chest, which is like the story chest, and escape, it will show you the chest and the final room you need to escape through as well. So it's not a bad ability. Obviously, again, same as Musa, when you're below 35% health, your dodge increases, and attack is increased by 50% when he's below 35% as well. But obviously not a great spot to be in with him because he's not the tankest of heroes. So at 35%, you've not got much left in the tank. Sigurd. Steinborgerson. Yeah, there we go. Getting better. We recently did a video on him. He's okay. Nothing special. Very flimsy. Again, got the maiming swipes. Well, he's got the maiming strike that strikes all enemies for and inflicts a 200% bleed damage over 4 ticks. Very strong bleed. Very strong bleed. So they do melt a bit with that. So it is quite nice. Attacks all enemies 2 times for 100% damage. So just does an absolute, like a bit like female Avor's ability, but it's only twice. If it crits, you're having a lovely time. It still does even good damage if it doesn't crit. He's got Retaliate as well, so he reduces the next enemy strike by 20% and reflects 150% of incoming damage for the next 4 strikes. And he's also got Outnumbered and Unbreakable. So all in all, not a bad hero. He was dubbed possibly the new Alvaro. Not even close. He's nice. He'll get you through some stuff, but very squishy, and obviously didn't heal him up from the last video. But yeah, he's all right. Alvaro. The difference that makes him a little bit better in my eyes than Sigurd is disability here, mercenary instinct. So attack is increased by 25% and initiative is granted by the target member for 15 ticks. So the fact that you can give yourself initiative or somebody else initiative is very nice. It increases your attack as well. So Alvaro's one of them where he'll take less damage because he's getting the first hit off. And he does hit like a truck. So at times, one hit is sometimes all you really need. You've got death hit. So strikes for 125% damage. And you have a 50% chance to reduce the enemy's defense by 50% as well for 3 ticks. So that just means that if this doesn't kill them outright, your next attack is going to do a lot more damage because you've reduced their defense. So it's always best to ping this ability off first. Cleave strikes all enemies in front of the hero for 200% damage with a 25% chance to bleed the opponent for 150% damage over 3 ticks. So his bleed isn't as big as Sigurd's. It's not as consistent. Obviously Sigurd's is guaranteed. He only has a 25% chance to do it. Sometimes it's best to use this ability first because it does hit for 200% damage. So again, if you crit, you're having a fantastic time. You could possibly take out both enemies at the same time. And combined with the initiative, you may take them out without even taking a lick of damage. So he's got Brawler, so health is an attack opponent increased by 20%. And upon entering combat, 50% chance to increase attack by 30% for 2 ticks. So just you're going to hit harder at the start of the fight whenever you go into it, if you get the 50% chance, that is. And Predator's full focus, critical chances permanently increased by 10%. Upon entering combat, 25% chance to increase critical chance by 15% for 2 ticks. So entering combat, you've got a lot of RNG that needs to go your way, but if it does, you're hitting like an absolute freight train. Still, for me, the best AOE hero in the epic class, like in the epic rarity. So yeah, no one's actually managed to touch him yet. I think the initiative ability just gives him that little bit of a step up. So Rodrigo, I know this is a fan's favourite and he has warmed to me. Very, very good hero. Very good at sneaking. He's got the sneak ability. Very good at lockpicking as well. Very good dexterity. He has a legendary weapon and a legendary pouch. So all this kind of benefits the hero as well. Unfortunately, though, he has no T5 armor. And that's the little bit of the downside about him. This is what really kind of stops him finishing top of the class. Is he just... I mean, you eat his defense and his health, and he obviously is a lot more sustainable. But all in all, he still takes a whack. He's got Storm of Blades, so strikes for 125% damage. And this is the ability you kind of want to go in with because strikes all enemies for 85% damage. Obviously not as much as this one, but it reduces their defense by 20% and increases the hero's crit chance by 3% per application. So you can just keep refreshing this battle to battle, and if you get 5 of these up, you're critting a hell of a lot more, and at the same time you are lowering their defense when you do hit the opponent with it. But if he doesn't crit, I find his damage very lackluster. Very good for initiative, very fast-paced hero. You know, he hits extremely quickly. His weapon is phenomenal. He's got agility is permanently increased by 21%. So, and dodge, you've got a 50% chance to increase your dodge, which is always nice, means you're getting hit less. And on guard, initiative increases dodge by 12% until the end of combat and gains a 25% chance to strike twice. You will get initiative a lot with this hero. The only time you will probably fail it is against dagger heroes. So, all in all, most fights you come up against, you'll get initiative. And obviously it just builds him up. He dodges more. He's got the chance to strike twice. But if he doesn't crit, his damage isn't the best. That's the only thing I'll say about him. You are very reliant on crits. But all in all, phenomenal hero. He'll clear so much content for you. It's unbelievable. Geolemon hits like an absolute freight train, but is as delicate as a tower of glass, long short of it. He can't take a hit. He really can't take a hit. He gets absolutely 2 hits. He's more or less done. He's extremely squishy, but he does hit like an absolute freight train. One of the hardest hitting heroes in the game. So Storm of Blades strikes all enemies for 175% damage. He's got his own legendary weapon as well, which just helps him obviously do so much more damage. Hindering Blow strikes 125% damage and slows the enemy's attack speed by 35% for 10 ticks. I'd like to have seen that be 50 because the 35% doesn't do much against some of the heroes. Being a longsword hero, your weapon speed is extremely slow, so the only time this will really work is up against other longsword heroes. The rest of the time you're still going to get slapped a couple of times and lose quite a lot of health. Again, you've got the maiming sweep, so strikes all enemies inflicting 200% damage, bleed damage over 4 ticks. This is obviously a lot stronger than Sigurd's because your attack is so much higher. So the bleeds absolutely shred, but yet again, you're getting it off, not doing much damage to start off with, and then you're taking a load of hits back. And because he's so squishy, it just, it doesn't bode well. Each wound sustains, he's got Fury, so 10% health lost, attack is increased by 7%. Again, you can obviously, when you hit below 50% health, your attack goes up by 35%. This is a phenomenal ability. I love it. It does save you in a hell of a lot of situations. Cannot fall unconscious for 6 ticks. Also increases attack by 50% for this duration. So when you hit 0 health, you've got 6 ticks. Even if you get hit during them 6 ticks, it doesn't matter. You can't die. And your attack just goes through the roof. But obviously, once them 6 ticks are over, the next hit, you're dead. But, you know, this could be the difference between making it through a level or not. Plus, with the attack increase, and you'll be having your Fury abilities as well. So with that 35% attack increase, the 50% attack increase, just phenomenal damage. You know, that's like, what, 85% damage on top of somebody who already hits like an absolute freight train. So, he's not a great hero. As I said, he hits like a truck, but he's just so weak. He can last maybe 2-3 fights and then he's really, really struggling. Come to the queen of the class by a country mile. For me, the second best hero in the game. I've had this debate live on stream, and for me, Jean, spoilers alert for one of the other videos, for me, Jean's top of the club, like top best hero in the game. She's an extremely best close second. For me, she's best in the game for burst damage. She's an absolute monster. Give her initiative and she will just run through anything. Absolute phenomenal. So she's got Berserk. Now, I don't like this ability, but I love it on her because it just makes a hard-hitting hero hit so much harder. And their attack is increased by 50%. As a result, defense is reduced by 15% for 7 ticks. She can take a bit of a whack. She's not too bad. She is a little bit tanky. She takes damage a lot better than some of the others. Not amazing, but still a lot better than some of the others. Right, now this deserves a better name than spinning attacks. I don't know why they don't call it. Like, they give Sigurd like the Raider's Strike. They could have called it this and give him spinning attacks, but no, they went the other way around. But this ability is just broken. So Eivor strikes all enemies in front and behind her 6 times for 40% of her attack power. Now, you know, Sigurd's is what, 80%? Hers is only 40. Like, surely he's hit harder. No, 40% of her attack is still just a ridiculous amount. And when you crit the majority of the time, there isn't an enemy really that can stand up to it. I think if you get lucky enough with the elite training you put in her, you can probably one-shot Tornado with this ability. You could probably come close to doing plus 25k damage with this ability if your crits go your way. Just phenomenal. Throwing axe. So the hero hurls an axe at the target, dealing damage and reducing the defense. So you deal 150% damage and lower their defense by 35%. If this doesn't kill them outright, then your swing, whatever it's called, axe, what's it called? It's really annoying me now. What's it called? Spinning attack will just do so much more damage than it normally would anyway. No one's going to survive that. I think you can literally throw one of these into Automator's face, use the spinning attack, and he's dead. She's just a phenomenal hero. It does give you initiative as well. So as I said, if it doesn't kill them outright, you get initiative and they're dead anyway. So yeah, you've got 3 charges of this. I think any more than 3 should be even more broken than she is. She's got the free runner ability, but it's terrible. Her agility is absolutely shocking. But it does help you out of a sticky situation on occasions. Like if you're running Region 5, Story 28, you can zip line. You probably take damage, but it's better than getting in 100 of fights and getting poisoned by traps. So she's got Brawler, so upon entering combat, 50% chance to increase attack by 30% for 2 ticks. Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm just reading this and it's just even more broken. Just even more broken. Like, this is even without a basic attack, which still does a nice bit of damage. And you can activate the flame ability from a legendary weapon as well. So even when you do a basic attack, if you actually don't manage to kill him with a swipes with your spinning attack, you can just do so much more damage to him with flame attacks, and obviously increasing your attack by 30% with a coin flip chance. Just unstoppable, really. And then Dual Wielder, sorry. So basically makes rapid multiple attacks, favours speed over power. Her power is still phenomenal anyway. So strikes twice in combat, each strike dealing 60% of her damage. So when you use your basic attack, you've got the flame attacks, you've got the fact that it hits twice. Yeah, I just don't know what to say. Just phenomenal hero. For me, as I said, Gene just outdoes her just because his longevity. He can just heal non-stop and just kind of just stay in the fight a hell of a lot longer. But for burst damage and for just hitting someone just and absolutely one-shotting them, give her initiative, game over. She is the hardest hitting hero in the game and a phenomenal hero at that. And I believe that is the best in class done, Assassins. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what one you want to see in the next video. If you've made it this far, thank you ever so much. Tell me who you'd like it, who you think's top of the class as well. It's always nice to get someone's opinion. Yous all take care, Assassins. You'll stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.